Omnislash Samurai using Nobunaga's set bonus. So, with our Mercenary, which is very important for this build, let the stacks come up a little bit. That's pretty much the main purpose of our Mercenaries, to get break stacks on them. Got about 600 million single target now. Slowly creeping up towards 700. Here's the gear. Nobunaga set bonus that I complete with Absence. Shadow Carver, Dark Knight's Gauntlets, Power of the Void. You could also use a bottle of sake here. Grimbone Marchers, Belt of Skulls, and Torch of Shadows. The gems here, you could optimize this a little bit with the gems. You see, you could get like Angelic Gem for the $2 talents, and then an Elemental Gem for 802 elemental damage. You could also get the Heroic set of Nobunaga's chest, helmet, and neck. And then if you're really rich and you want to get more damage, you could start working on replacing all of these ability power jewels with pristine skulls. These guys here. These will give you the most damage per socket. So, here's the skill build that I use. Omnislash, Fan of Knives, Live by the Sword, through the rest of my points in clone. Blade Barrier. This is the best spell to use for single target. If you're doing multi-target, as in like very large, dense mob packs, for like Chaos Towers, Unstable Rifts, Empire Slash will give you more damage. Hero level, just hero level 70 for now, and I mainly focus on reduction. Elemental damage will be better than crit damage here. Crit chance will be better than attack speed here. And this is ideal for your Mercenary, so you can apply an additional stack to all your breaks. And the Mercenary tree, it's mostly just, you can put 1 point in everything, and then focusing on helping him proc his break stacks more often. Multi-shot, burst shot. This also helps with 20 points in here. His elemental break can get up to 66% at 3 stacks. More attack speed, more attack speed. And the Mercenary gear, which is really cheap. Imperial Glaive for source of mark target. I'll need to explain that in a bit. Elemental break, you can get up to 6 on Shroud. You could also throw in a Force, which gets up to 7. I use Shroud personally for a more consistent elemental break. And then go up here, helmet, armor break 6. That's your physical break, and then just basically a tanky shield. So with mark target, it is currently bugged in that on your weapon, mark target doesn't, the ability level it's assigned doesn't really matter because it inherits the ability level of any gold text. If your weapon doesn't have any gold text, mark target will always be level 1. And then with Mercenary, your Mercenary's mark target will inherit the player's ability level. So for example, if my Death Coil was only level 13, my mark target would be level 13, and my Mercenary's mark target will be level 13. Okay, let's get into the budget set. Actually, first off, I'll show you the relics. Relics don't make too much of a difference. Shiv is really the main one that deals damage. Everything else is like stamina, armor, utility, survivability kind of deal. And then, so this is budget gear. Budget gear with sort of a budget Mercenary as well. And you can sort of get around 190 to 100 million single target here, which I think is pretty decent for a budget samurai. And then, for whatever reason, if you do not have a Mercenary, show you the damage without him. You can spike up to 100 mil, but it usually ends up settling around 40 to 50 mil. So then for gear progression, let me go to the bottom of the barrel here. That's pretty much it, actually. So full Nobunaga set can get like a Hellfire, or sorry, Raider's Torch, or an Aztec coin is also decent to start out with. Maybe an Apple of Evolution if nothing else is available. A Nihilus is a little more expensive, but that'll help you out a good bit. Personally, Satanic Eye for resists. I like survivability because I play hardcore. Otherwise, actually, there really isn't. You could go for Signet of Bifrost, but the amount of time it takes to grind for that, probably not worth it. Prismatic Potion, same kind of deal, survivability. For boots, Assassin Boots really good for damage. It also has a little bit of cooldown reduction. If you need more cooldown reduction and resist, Thunder Marchers. If you just need more cooldown reduction, Ghosts are also really nice. And then, so for gear progression, we'll start off with the first thing you want to go for is Shadow Carver. And it's okay if you break the 4-set bonus to get Shadow Carver, as in you don't have Absence, because Shadow Carver itself, it just supplies so much more survivability than the Nobunaga weapon. You might lose a little bit of damage, but it's, in my opinion, it's definitely worth. So then you get your Absence next, and then from here on out, I would prioritize Belt, followed by, actually, it's sort of up in the air. I'd go for Belt of Skulls first, and then just as they come, Torch of Shadows or Jack's Pumpkin Spice. Torch of Shadows has a little bit more survivability because of the all resist. For boots, you could go for Whisper Walker's Faux, a nice upgrade. And then eventually Grimbone Marchers with the physical damage type. Gloves will probably stay here the longest, just because they also provide 15% cooldown reduction. But from here, you could go for autos if you want more resists. And eventually Dark Knights for all the damage. Lots of crit damage, crit rate. And from Prismatic Potion, either Coffee or Power of the Void. I think you could also potentially use Bottle of Sake, which would be another budget option. It just depends on how much crit you have. And that's pretty much it. Another thing I want to explain, actually. So this build, with the gear set that I have listed as best in slot, you will only have 5% cooldown, which is really bad. So, while you're progressing your gear, it is pretty important to keep on the lookout for damage reduction, cooldown reduction, bonus roll items. You will need at least 3 when your gear is all 115%, at least 3 of these pieces of gear and 1 Von Rune. Otherwise, try to get 4 of these. And then the bonus rolls on your other items, I go for resistances, but if you want damage, you can go for the crit rate and crit damage bonus roll. Alright, that sums up Nobunaga's Omnislash build. Enjoy. Hopefully it helps you out. You can pretty much do everything in the game, aside from Sung Lee, with these stats here. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/snowzone. Please like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day.